How are you doing? So let me say thank you first to our provost, Dr. Er, and all the faculty, all the deans of different colleges of Galen University, and of course our chairman of the board of trustees, Dr. Chairman, Renee Villanueva, senior, and there's the Renee Junior, and also Dr. Flowers, and many of our wonderful introduction of myself. Yes, I'm the ambassador from Taiwan. My name is Remus Li-Kuo Chen, and I thank you again for very wonderful kind introducing myself. Working too long for 16 years in 3 different tours in Washington, D.C., the United States. So I really enjoy each and every day that I'm here. Finally here in a different country, But Belize is a great country that we really cherish. For 31 years diplomatic ties. Today I'm here to bring you the information which is really critical, maybe a very important life-changing experience. Will be regarding pursuing higher education opportunities, and I'm talking about scholarship, studying in Taiwan. And let me begin by saying, as we are very true dear friends like brothers and sisters, for 31 years diplomatic ties. So education is the best gift we can offer to our friends here in Belize. So since the year of 2002 until today, we have offered altogether 400 scholarships to Belizean students until 2019. And I'm here to bring you good news, because after our very hard work and pushing, we want to get more for Belizean students. And I got a very positive response from our headquarters. So this year, especially for the Taiwan Scholarship sponsored by our Ministry of Foreign Affairs, we have 2 tracks of the scholarship, and we'll give you all the details. Meaning, originally we got, for example, I came to Belize in November 2018. For that year, we got only 5 for the Taiwan Scholarship. But last year, we got 7. The first cable I sent back when I came here to assume the ambassadorship is to ask for more scholarship for Belizean students, your talents. And the response is, yes, Ambassador Chen, I'll give you 1 more. So that's what I got last year. But we had a very good strategy last year, putting one of the very talented Belizean students who already got his master's degree already accomplished. A very great student, winning actually one of our, for example, mechanical engineering thesis presentation for 1 million NT dollars, which is about maybe 33,000 actually Belizean dollars. Meaning it's a very big amount, meaning he's a very outstanding student. So his university and our headquarters think, how could we ever put him not on the approval list? But you know what? Because he's on the first of the waiting list and he got it. So we last year got 7 actually scholarship for our Taiwan Ministry of Foreign Affairs scholarship. But together with the ICDF, so altogether last year we got 37. And so this year we estimate perhaps with the Taiwan Scholarship, which has been more than double, we're going to get 15 of them compared to last year's 7, 2018's 5. This year we have 15 for the Taiwan Scholarship. The other track is called the ICDF Scholarship. ICDF stands for International Cooperation and Development Foundation. It's our Taiwan government's foreign aid arm, like USAID in the United States, JICA in Japan, and many different organizations. So we do have our scholarship from these 2 major branches. So today, my presentation will be divided into 2 major parts. One, for you to travel all these 8,400 miles to a country so far away from your home, Taiwan, is really a challenge. I understand, especially not for yourself, for your parents. And so my first part will tell you why do you have to choose Taiwan as a great decision for travel and the study destination. The second part will be all the information that you need to know, because today is already February 12th. And the deadline for ICTF scholarship is March 15th, meaning after hearing the presentation today, you have to start immediately making sure that you get all the documents, all the resume, CV, recommendation letters. You have to put in your mind who you have to seek for your help, and also advice to make sure you get all the documents ready by the deadline. But for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs scholarship, the deadline will be another 2 weeks later, March 31st. But this year, March 14th and 15th happens to be the weekend. Sorry, we are closed. We are not open. So the deadline, in fact, will be March 13th. So really about only 1 month's time, and February is the shortest month of the year. So really very tough, only 3-4 weeks for you to prepare. And there are a lot of things you have to get ready. So let's have this journey taken off to look at this wonderful presentation about opportunity of studying in Taiwan. Here we go. Okay, maybe you cannot see the screen, so maybe you have to move to another spot. The first photo showing actually a lot of graduate police students already wearing their, ceremony for the commencement. Next one. Here we go. First, I think Taiwan is an island surrounded by ocean, and very similar. We have a lot of similarities between Belize and Taiwan. The first thing that you don't have to worry that much about studying in Taiwan is it's a friendly country in terms of also, welcoming foreigners, and also many people speak a second or even third language. And most popular foreign language in Taiwan, of course, is English. So we even actually send our students, our pupils to start learning English as a second or foreign language from kindergarten. Could you ever believe that? But the official, launching of the English education, even though our official language for Taiwan is Mandarin Chinese, not English yet, but we have the street signs, we have all these, even taxi drivers, the 7-Elevens. People really can actually at least have some basic conversation because they learn English for at least 10, 15 years. If they continue to pursue even college degree, there'll be also the English language they need to continue to master. So it's a very friendly environment for English speakers like Belizeans, because you have your official language using English. And when you go to Taiwan, you must also ask this very equally important question. What about the quality of the higher education in Taiwan? Well, here are all the statistics, the rankings of our very great universities. And you know what? Today, I bring many gifts for you to listen up carefully and pay attention and really actually absorb all the information that I want to convey and give to you. So I'll raise some questions and see whether you really are very good student listening to my speech. So we have in Taiwan, comparing to Belize, you have 400,000 people here in your population. We a little bit larger than Belize, only 1/3 larger than your size. But we have 23 million people. Guess what? 23 million, 400,000. It's a big difference, right? But we have 152 universities in Taiwan. So more than, I would say 99.99% of the high school graduates in Taiwan, they all go to universities. So we do have a very high percentage of college students every year. After graduating from high school, they go to colleges. And it's because, for the next reason, and they are really wonderful, public one, national, state or private, they're all different kinds. And the private universities in Taiwan are also very well funded, a lot of resources, great campus, and most of our, I would say, faculty, professors, lecturers, all graduated with the PhDs from universities in the United States, Canada, Europe, all the distinguished outstanding universities of the world. And in terms of tuition, living cost, anything else that you need to be aware of before you go, right? Taiwan is a great country that offers very inexpensive college education master program or even PhD. And here's actually the figures just telling you the truth. I know you know in the United States, even so for just bachelor degree in the college, it's very expensive, right? And Australia or Europe or Canada might be cheaper. But in Taiwan, the annual cost for college education recipient students will only be $8,247 US. So that shows a lot, but you're not going to pay for that. We're talking about if you send the application and we recommend you and you get the final approval from Taipei, you're going to get all the tuition free, living cost free, accommodation free, even given monthly stipend. Bachelor degree, $800 US a month. Master, $900. But there are two different tracks. So making sure that when you're in Taiwan, just do your best as a student to pursue your academic study, but also at the same time enjoy your life. Don't need to worry about how to. And then for people who are more in the interest area of computer science, technology, and other areas, as you know, Taiwan is a great technology hub or island with a lot of experts and industries producing cell phones, motherboard, laptops. So like the famous brand from Taiwan, ASUS or Acer or many other kind. Foxconn is a company with worldwide operation. It's founded by Taiwanese. His name is Terry Kuo. And that company, Foxconn, is the company making sure the iPhones are successfully at the final stop of their factory to assemble all these components and parts and then sell or actually ship to the United States or the other markets in the world. So that tells you a lot. It's a great place if your areas, and it's a very wonderful thing to learn. And right now, Taiwan is the leading country of many in this world in terms of Internet of Things, IoT, blockchain, AI, artificial intelligence, and also big data. And it's also, in terms of all these leading technology, you can find a testing ground in Taiwan. Next, we are talking about when you get homesick or in any other meaning, sick. You have to be careful, right? I was told, for example, if you travel to some European countries or the United States, like a tourist, and then you have accident or you got sick, the medical cost, just going to the clinic or to the hospital for any shot, whatever, just examination or just, for the visit itself, it's so expensive. In Taiwan, no. We offer you the best medical standard and best medical services, the top notch in the whole world. There are even actually medical magazines or actually very reliable, trustworthy organization having this survey done. One of the top leading medical service providers is from Taiwan, and it's not expensive at all. So that's the good news. And if you are there studying in Taiwan, pursuing your degree for master, you will be covered. So that's the good news for you. You don't have to worry about being sick. You'll get covered as a student in Taiwan. And you will say, okay, with all these living costs, tuition, whatever, the very important point that you need to be aware is, as I said, we have so many things in common. We have many, many similarities. What about our system? Is it a democracy? Is it open, fair, and very, very, I would say, very active civil societies? Yes, indeed. So even though it's much more, in terms of population density, much, crowded or whatever you name it in Taiwan, but it's very organized. We have very state-of-the-art and best infrastructure, metros, public, buses, boats, whatever you name it. So with your land and high-speed rail as well, from the northern city and then to the southern point of Taiwan, it will take you only, it's about the same length, from your north to the south, like least. It only takes you 90 minutes from the north to the south by taking the high-speed train. So in Taiwan, we just held our most recent presidential and parliamentary election to have our next 4 years president to be chosen. And that is the lady to the left on the screen is our president. She came to visit Belize in 2018 in August, and so she got re-elected with a very resounding victory, a landslide won, because we have a very high turnout rate for our election, 74.9%. And the eligible voters is about 19 million, and because of the turnout rate, it's about 75%. So altogether, you're talking about, in January, 14 million Taiwanese went to the poll station to cast the very sacred ballots to elect our leader. So our constitution stipulates that each and every president can only serve 2 terms, and each term is about 4 years. So she will be soon inaugurated in May to have her second term, another 4 years, to serve our people and country. And the other 2 gentlemen are candidates from the other 2 major parties in Taiwan. And then there are also, when we talk about all this infrastructure, the language, the culture, the system, there is a saying we say in Taiwan, what is the most beautiful thing in Taiwan? It's our people, like Belizeans. You're friendly, you're very decent, you're very nice, and we are just like you. So you really feel at home when you're in Taiwan. People really are friendly. For example, if you actually happen to forget your purse, your wallet, whatever your stuff, could you believe that our taxi drivers, or no matter maybe the train station, you lost your personal belongings, the percentage of you to retrieve and get your stuff back is high, maybe higher than any other countries in the world. That means, the people's, honesty, they've been sincere, they are willing to help people. That really shows you how good. And in terms of crime and violence or the social order, it's also a very safe place in Taiwan. Even walking on the street, midnight, going to 7-Eleven just to buy the drinks and hungry, get a snack, you don't feel worried at all. So next we are going to play a very quick video for you to understand more about Taiwan. Just a basic introduction about my country. Do you like it? Yeah. So here comes at least 3 questions that I want to hand out, gifts that I bring today for our students or faculty today. You're equally treated, okay? So did you see any kind of seafood farming in the video? Raise your hand. There you go. Oyster, very good. So Jillian, please help me to give the gift to this lady. And there's actually, in Taiwan, we do have 4 very distinct seasons. So in summertime, we Taiwanese also enjoy eating a lot of shredded ice. So you put a lot of fruit on top of the ice, the shredded ice. In the video, did you see any ice on top with any kind of, at least, name me 2 tropical fruit that we are proud of in Taiwan? Starting with one yellow, the other red, okay? This is already enough hints for you. 3, 2, 1. Not banana, it's not yellow, right? Inside, not outside. Anybody else? What is the fruit that we enjoy? Here you go, in Belize, you also have the 2 fruits that I'm going to refer to.
Watermelon and mango?
Yes, you're right! Thank you very much. Making a very correction. And this one, from what I just told you, from the year 2002, how many Belizean students have already received scholarship from Taiwan? 300 or 400 or 500? Everybody knows. Wow, you're very good students. Provost, you have to be proud of your students. They're listening so carefully and attentively. Well, maybe I have to find a very difficult question then. Okay then. Did I ever mention how many Taiwan scholarships from Ministry of Foreign Affairs will be offered 2020? You don't have to say this. You can wait until I say 1, 2, 3 and count, right? Well, you will know that. Oh, okay. So what will be the question to ask. Okay, I'll reserve to the last because we have some time limitation. So let me continue for the second part. Now we're going to enter into the details and information that you need to know for applying for scholarship. And I know for all of you actually are bachelor degree students, so you are now looking for the opportunities for master degree programs. So remember, there are two tracks and there are some differences. So we have to pay attention to the differences of the two different kinds of scholarship. Okay. Taiwan ICTF scholarship and our Ministry of Foreign Affairs scholarship. That Chinese character means what? External or foreign. So that's actually our ministry's logo. Okay, here we go. For the ICTF, meaning our actually first track of the scholarship, there are areas of, for example, subjects or disciplines focusing on these, main subjects, for example, tropic agriculture, aquatic sciences, business administration, information technology, human resource development, medicine, public health, and for example, like mechanical engineering or civil engineering and many different kinds. And we do have all the information about the 21 university offering the 32 programs, mostly actually bachelor. So maybe only 1/3 out of those 32 programs are for masters. So they're really maybe limited. So if you check it out for our website, you can see and get the information about the master programs offered and whether it's actually in the area of interest that you're pursuing. Next. And so when we talk about the ICTF, meaning the difference now, pay attention. For the ICTF, the programs, they are taught in English. So meaning when you go to school, all the Taiwanese professors, or maybe actually foreign professors teaching in Taiwan, they will teach in the class all in English. Meaning you don't have to worry about the language barrier. That's ICTF. So maybe you'll be more interested. But, there's no easy thing. It's more competitive. And let me tell you why. Because the ICTF scholarship, you're competing not only within your Belizean student group, but you're also competing with other applicants for the same university's program from other countries. Because we offer the ICTF scholarship not only to Belize, but also to many of our diplomatic allies. So anybody knows how many diplomatic allies still recognize Taiwan? So we're not talking about China, okay? There's a difference. And I think you should be really a college student in Belize already knowing the difference and nuances between Taiwan and China, right? There are two different governments in the whole world, and we are here recognized officially, diplomatic speaking, by your government here. So, anybody knows? Which is a hard question, I guess. Is it 13 or 15 or 17? Anybody wants to make a wild guess? We'll offer a gift for you. Very good. Yes, we'll have this gift for you. Thank you very much. Very quick. So you know what? Belize is one of the 15 diplomatic friends that we Taiwan still enjoy. And that's why we want to reciprocate your support, your friendship, your standing by with Taiwan with solidarity anytime we need your friendship and need your help. So that's the reason why we're here, to talk about friendship, talk about educational opportunities. So here we go. For the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, it could be either way in terms of the program that you're pursuing. Meaning, you find your own university and program that you want to study. Meaning, it's not a fixed scope of the target of the university, it's your own choice. And we are going to soon put on our website of our embassy, like frequently asked questions about, okay, what about the number and what are these universities? Also offer English talk programs. Because, here we go, for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs scholarship, we strongly recommend that you study for 1 year of Mandarin Chinese. So you'll get used to the environment, the people, the language, the schools. So you will be ready to and certain whether you want to choose English talk program or Mandarin talk program. Because, for example, for pursuing a master's degree in Taiwan, the minimum years, 2 years. You need to spend 2 years' time, not including the 1-year Mandarin learning. But if you think after the 1 year study, you still feel not so confident that you want to learn and pursue your master's degree in a Mandarin Chinese taught environment, you still have a choice to pursue, to find, to look out for the English program offered. So it's your choice. But here's the key, and here's the trick. If you apply only the schools, and going through, of course, our embassy, you're running the risk not to be admitted by the university you submit your application. But if you apply for 1 year Mandarin Chinese language study, most, I would say 99% of the university you try to get the scholarship from our ministry, they will approve your application. So meaning, this is like a stepping stone for the 1 year study of Mandarin for your pursuing the approval from the university. Okay? So meaning, for the Taiwan scholarship sponsored by our Ministry of Foreign Affairs, you're not going to know maybe which school you're going to, even though you know you want to apply for them. Not necessarily yet. Okay? But because you already supply or submit your application for the Mandarin study, because they know you're going to get the scholarship if you are approved, then they will approve. So it's a sequential, logical step. Thinking you're running the risk if you don't apply for the language learning for 1 year, you may not get the final approval from the university you want to study in. Okay, I want to make it clear in the very beginning. So like bachelor degree, for example, there's parents and students asking, if it is a bachelor degree pursuing student, wow, they're spending 5 years in Taiwan. 1 year, Mandarin Chinese language learning, and 4-year bachelor, right? So 5 years. Especially many of your students, after graduating from junior college, already got an associate degree while still pursuing that many years of study. So that's the question we have to report back to our decision makers in Taiwan, whether they can recognize the credits of students who have already got and received associate degree, so they don't have to spend like 4 years long, 5 years long, maybe just 2 years. So that's something we're working on right now. We want to look at all the criteria that you need to be aware of. As I pointed out, so there are bachelor, for ICT, a bachelor, master, or even PhD. And for MOFA, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, also, all different kinds. And I already explained the differences. Okay, and we have a quick also video clip, which is made by the ICDF. So you will know there's some recipients from 4 different countries telling their experience receiving and studying, receiving scholarship and studying in Taiwan. No sound.
Impact Coffee was established by 4 young people who won the Holt Prize in 2015.
Wonderful. So here comes the question then. Jillian, how many more gifts do we still have for our students? 3 more? Okay. Can anyone tell me how many students who come from the various countries and tell me the country they come from and who received this ICDF scholarship in the past, and then telling their own story in this video? Just give me maybe 2 or 3 after you listening to this video. 1, 2, 3. Nobody knows? You didn't see the names or where they come from? At least one from? Right, so you know the answer. So let me count again. 1, 2, 3. There are 4 recipients who actually shown in this video telling their stories about their experience studying in Taiwan, right? So 1, 2. Okay, we have this lady already raising their hand for long.
I saw 3, one from Belize, Marshall Island, and
Honduras,
Honduras.
very good. And if anybody else could really tell the name of this African country, is really following the international news and international issues. That country, anybody knows? Try.
Eswatini.
Very good, wonderful. I think it's shown on the subtitle, but yes, indeed. If you already got 1 gift, So we'll give to other, right? Okay, but very good, listener to our story. So indeed, Eswatini, but we offer to also our diplomatic allies in Central America and our neighboring countries. So there are actually about 120,000 students in Taiwan from foreign countries studying in Taiwan. Okay, so here we go. Let me talk about the future proceedings. After you really consider hard, talking to yourself, your parents, your teachers, and then you want to pursue the goal for studying Taiwan for your master's degree. So really, we'll talk about all the other documents needed, right? But after you submit the documents and it's all been approved, we'll take actually the next step is to schedule some time for you to go to our embassy. We'll have interview. Okay, we'll ask you a lot of questions about what you do in the school and everything else, and why do you really want to study in Taiwan. So we have the interview conducted. And then we'll send all the recommendation list after our embassy's internal review process. We'll do some screening, we'll do some recommendation, send back the list. So meaning there are 32 programs, right? So it depends on, in the past few years, the total number of applicants from Belize for ICTF is about 110. For the number of opportunities, 25 or between 25 to 30. So you're competing not necessarily within this 110 as I explained. There are other countries, other diplomatic allies of Taiwan also pursuing actually the opportunity for studying Taiwan for all these different programs. So make sure you have your strategic move about, maybe for out of these 32 programs, there's only one applicant from Belize, and his or her GPA is good enough, and very good resume, everything turns out to be good. And we strongly, of course, recommend. We hope this will be selected by the future joint committee organized by the university's representatives and also ICTF's officials. They're collectively making the final decision. It's not done by the embassy. We just do all the first preliminary work. We receive the application, we screen out, we'll tell you what is good and not bad in terms of whether there are enough for your documents, and then we'll do the interview, and then we'll have our internal meeting, and we'll have our recommendation list. But you know what? In order to making more Belizean students receive the scholarship, we have some very good strategy. Meaning, for example, international business. If there is such a business administration's MBA program, offer, say, a university called Big Chuan University. It's very popular, okay, English taught. So it's a 2-year program, no need to study Mandarin. Meaning, okay, maybe there will be all together from all around the world, maybe 20 applicants for that, for example, 3 vacancies. So, but for example, in Belize, we have 6 applicants for that program. The total number available is only 3, but there are 6 applicants from Belize. But when we look at the number, the GPA, the study, and then the interview, if they really are good students, we don't want to leave anyone behind. We'll put them on the waiting list. And you know what? Even students putting on the waiting list still get the chance to get the real one. Meaning there are students who actually maybe receive these scholarship, but they give up because they maybe have other choices of scholarship and they want to go, for example, to the United States because it is closer to Belize. So there are cases like this happen. So don't give up any chances. Don't just give up quickly. So there are cases like this, and our strategy is to make sure we want to send as many Belizean students as possible for all the programs that you're pursuing. So be strategic in terms of your final decision of the area of your study. And then next is for Ministry of Foreign Affairs. It's much simpler. For example, you need to apply for a language center in Taiwan, and it's not screened, not actually difficult. You apply, you get it. Okay? But that's, as I said, like a prerequisite, like a strongly recommended thing that you have to do so that you will get the scholarship of this university you're applying for. Okay? And then, next, what are the requirements? Number 1, you have to be a Belizean citizen. Number 2, if you actually have the previous scholarship, you cannot do it again. And for the ICTF or the Thai scholarship, you can only choose one. So you have to be very clear what your goal, the Taiwan CDF or Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So the two different branches, two different sets, two different tracks. You have to be careful about your choice. And then next is about GPA. No cancellation of any previous record of receiving, I guess no. And the minimum GPA, we hope, is not a mandate. If you have like your GPA is like 2.98, can I still apply? Yes, please, don't worry. It's just a benchmark. If you have any other, for example, not just the academic, but you have good sports record, you have good, for example, community contribution, whatever you name, you have very good experiences that you need to let us know. And write in your, asking your teachers, your professor, or any, for example, celebrity, writing your recommendation letters. Let us know more about you so we can actually have more information to read this person, this applicant, whether really we should take good care of this person and send them to Taiwan. And for the age issue, for ICDF, there is no minimum requirement. So even high school graduates from police can apply for a bachelor degree in Taiwan. Even though our two countries' educational system are different, meaning you have, your kids starting from infant 1, infant 2, instead of 1 to 6, and form 1 to 4, and then some people will do. I don't know whether provost, do they study anyone here for all the bachelor degree pursuing student? Anyone actually already got some associate degree? No, just directly from high school, right?
Some of them have transferred in from junior colleges.
Oh, okay, so they can do that, but no, already got the associate degree yet, right? Just transferring, right? Okay, good. So meaning, look at the age differences. For pursuing master's degree, we even have high school teachers from police applying for a master program after working for some years. So there are cases like that. And then for our Ministry of Foreign Affairs, there's an age requirement between 18 to 30. So for you, I think when you are graduating from senior, right, that means you are about maybe 22. So you definitely will fall into the category. So all of the students here are all seniors? Most of it, but just interested in the scholarship in Taiwan, I guess. So not necessarily senior students. Okay. But how many, let me see, how many will be graduating soon, this coming summer? Okay. So
We have a few graduates. We have a few who are already graduated.
oh, okay, sure. I mean, those who are already graduated, meaning your alumni, and those who are graduating in June, maybe. And so perhaps you really have to pay attention carefully if you really want to make that very critical decision. And as I said then, when you apply for ICDF or the Taiwan MOFA Scholarship, I said clear that you have to apply. So for the ICDF, you have to go online to ICDF's website. It's like US visa application, so you have to go online to fill out by keying all the information of your personal data, and then print it out, sign, and come to our embassy in person to submit all the documents, including all the others I'm going to mention. And then for another one is that, as I said, you also print out the forms, but it's not online application form. It's just actually a Word file. So you just print it out, but you have to use your pen to manually fill out the information on paper form for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs scholarship. So next, let's go to all these different requirements and continue. We need to get also, for example, all the documents. This page is very important as well. And there are similarities, there are differences. For this one, for the ICDF, you need to have your highest degree, like diploma or your bachelor degree. If you're still a student here and not graduated, you can just ask for your school to give you the proof that you're still last year of your university, and just provide the transcript certified by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Ministry of Education. You need to also provide us your resume, meaning your biography, your copy of your passport. So if you don't have a passport, please go ahead. Right now, you have to apply for it. And then 2 recommendation letters. But for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, you can even have more. And then you have to also apply for the acceptance letter from the language center in Taiwan. So here's the trick. For example, if you want to study in National Taiwan University, that's where I graduated from, that's my alma mater, but it's actually the best university in Taiwan, the top-notch, meaning maybe you're competing also with many other countries' best students. So you have to calculate your chance. And, but for example, in National Taiwan University, there's a language center. So for your convenience sake, of course, you don't want to like study in the language center in the south, but in the future you want to study in a university in the north. You have to consider the geographical factor into your planning of your study for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs scholarship. So the next thing is very important is the deadline. Meeting, as I said, March 15. But it's weekend, 14 and 15. So you have to come before March 13, which is Friday. But for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, you will be March 31st, another 2 weeks' time. Okay, we have, stay tuned to our embassy. We always put all this updated information, but basically our embassy is located in Belize City, so it's about 2 hours drive from here in Galen or where you come from. And we are just next to the Memorial Park, beautiful ocean view over there in my office. And our embassy's website, you know, the World Wide Web, you know, is www.taiwanembassy.org and then /BelizeBC. What else? I think you can follow us on, as I said, our Twitter or Facebook. I heard actually more Belizean people actually use Facebook instead of Twitter or maybe Instagram. But our Facebook is very easy to remember. And please follow us. We have all these great information and great news provided. So it's called Taiwan in Belize. Just that simple. Taiwan in Belize. It's not embassy or whatever or different names. It's just Taiwan in Belize. So it will be easy for you to remember. And the deadline, no, not deadline. The good news or news, whatever it is, will be coming June 30th. So after submitting in mid or late March, you have about 2-3 months time to pray. Pray for God. Will give you the chance. Will give you the wish to come true. Your life dream come true. Okay? And what else? Okay, that's about what I have to say about the scholarship in Taiwan. Why you need to choose Taiwan to study. So, any questions? We have how many more? 2 gifts, but we do want to offer, for example, to okay, so 2 more. Okay. Yes, to be sure, we have 2 more. Anybody who wants to raise a question, I'll offer the gift to you. Any question? Or because okay, please.
I have a question about the application for the university. Because I read online, I'm not sure if it said that we had to apply by post, or is it online? Like, do we have to?
Oh, you have to go to the embassy in person to bring all the documents. Oh, you mean the University of Taiwan? For that case, you just actually have all. You're talking about the Ministry of Foreign Affairs or ICDF?
The ICDF scholarship. Do we have to apply by post, or do we apply for the university online?
It's not online. I think you also have to follow because it varies from one university to another.
Yeah.
And there are also deadlines for each program, for each university, for the ICDF. And all the information about the deadlines of each university offered in Net 21 is already listed in our also embassy's website information. So meaning you have to go to that university's website and then find out the application process and print out all the forms of the proof that you have already applied for that school.
Okay, because I saw for a university that you have to apply online, and then on the requirements for the ICDF scholarship, I read that you have to apply by post, so I was a bit confused. But
I do believe that after you have done that, you not only give us the proof, so we have records, and we will send back, but at the same time, you need to send to the university by mail, by post. And in the case of making sure they will be arriving in time before the deadline, so really actually have to start right now, so they will actually catch by the post before it's too late. Yes, that's as far as I know. But for confirmation's sake, will give you a much more, I would say, 100% or in English. And we want to provide you the information about the English program other than the ICDF's 21 universities. There are other universities also offer English talk programs. But still, I don't know the percentage though. Maybe out of so many programs that we offer, from bachelor, from master in Taiwan, how many are taught in English, how many are in Mandarin? But of course, you can imagine our official language is Mandarin. So maybe 80% of them are, provided in the Mandarin, environment. So you need to know, spending 1 year, whether you want to spend the 1 year time of your, precious, lifetime, but maybe 1 year learning a foreign language. It's not a bad idea, because right now, for example, in the western part of this country, northern part, and I know 50% of this country's citizens speak 2 languages, both English and also Spanish. And if you learn another language, Mandarin Chinese, you're going to be able to speak 3/4 of all the population in the whole world if you really learn it well. So I can speak, English, I can speak Mandarin, and I'm learning Spanish now. Me llamo Remus en español. I can speak better than that. It's just easy, the simple way for you to know. I'm learning it for 3 months. Class messes. Yeah. Okay, any other questions for the lady who just asked the question? If not, again, I want to conclude by saying, what a great honor for me to be given the chance to speak in front of you, very talented students in Galen University. We thank the leadership of the provost. We thank the generosity and also the very, very good contribution of Dr. Vera Rivera for our very long time friendship now since my first day in Belize. We work so closely, not only sponsoring also their events for La Ruta Maya, the River Challenge, for the band festival, for last year because of the 30 years of diplomatic relationship and friendship. We actually organized this Taiwan Belize Friendship Fair in Taiwan Street, which is the name of our street in front of our embassy. So we want to thank you for listening so carefully for my presentation today. And for those online students of Galen University will be able to enjoy, by your, facility being provided. There are a lot of online students. So I hope you also enjoyed our conversation and also the presentation today. Grab the chance. Copy DM. Taiwan is the best choice for starting for your higher education. Thank you very much. And I don't know whether it will be appropriate now or later. We have some gifts also for the provost and also for the chairman. Yeah. Is it good for me to do that? Okay, good. So,
Pictures.
Thank you. 谢谢。In Mandarin. Very good. Okay. So, Renee, Julia, you share this with your dad. Okay, good. Thank you very much for your Okay. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Happy also.
Not a problem. Thank you, Ambassador. Very informative. Ambassador used to be a lecturer, used to be a professor.
Oh, I almost forgot to mention. I was a teacher before.
We could tell. Okay. Thanks for answering all our students' questions. The presentation was quite detailed. Unfortunately, we don't have a gift for every question you answered, but we're glad you're here with us. It's been an honor. In the interest of time, I won't say much more. By the way, those beaches look like Belize beaches. In the interest of time, I'd like to invite Dr. Kenrick Williams to the podium.